My grandma gave me a $50 million hotel for my 25th birthday. Then my mom demanded that my golden boy brother and her new husband help manage it. I refused. Mom kicked me out until grandma revealed her second surprise. My family was gathered at my grandma's house that Saturday afternoon when she handed me a small envelope. Everyone expected a card. I opened it and found a key attached to a metal tag. I looked at her. What's this? Grandma smiled. Your birthday present. She slid a folder across the table. Inside was a deed, business documents, and an appraisal. I stared at the number on the first page. $50 million. I actually laughed because I thought there had to be some mistake. Grandma owned a large hotel in Florida that had been in our family for years. It was fully operational, profitable, and debt-free. And she had transferred ownership to me. My mom went completely silent. My younger brother, Ryan, stared at the papers. Grandma leaned back in her chair. You've worked for everything you have, she said. I want you to have something nobody can take away from you. Mom finally spoke. Mom, he's 25. Grandma looked at her. That is why I'm giving it to him now. He's old enough to make his own decisions. The celebration ended awkwardly. On the drive home, Mom called me. You need help managing that hotel. I'll hire professionals. That's not what I mean. I already knew where this was going. Ryan should be involved, she said. And Mark can handle the financial side. Mark was her new husband. Ryan had never managed anything larger than his own checking account. No, I said. There was a pause. You're being selfish. It's my hotel. You have no idea what you're doing. I can hire people who do. She hung up. 2 days later, she called again. Same demand, same answer. Then she changed tactics. She said Ryan deserved an opportunity. She said Mark had experience. She said I was embarrassing the family by refusing help. I told her I appreciated the concern, but the answer was still no. That evening, Mom showed up at my apartment with Ryan and Mark. Ryan walked in carrying a folder. We put together a management plan, he said. I opened it. They wanted Ryan to become general manager, Mark to control the finances, and me to receive monthly distributions. I looked at the last page. They were asking me to sign away operational control for 5 years. You're serious? Mark shrugged. You don't have the experience. I pushed the folder back. No. Ryan's face tightened. Mom stood up. If you refuse to cooperate with this family, you can find somewhere else to live. I stared at her. My lease is in my name. She folded her arms. I'm talking about Grandma's guest house. That was where I had been staying temporarily while renovating my apartment after a plumbing problem. I packed my things that night. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I moved into a small hotel near the airport and spent the next morning meeting with an attorney recommended by Grandma. That's when I learned something I hadn't known. The hotel transfer wasn't simply a gift. Grandma had created a trust. I was the sole owner, but there were conditions protecting the property from anyone trying to force me into handing over control. The attorney looked at me. Your grandmother anticipated family pressure. I sat quietly. Then he opened another file. There's something else. Grandma had recorded a second document. It stated that if anyone in the family attempted to take control of the hotel through intimidation, financial manipulation, or coercion, their access to several other family assets would be immediately reviewed. I frowned. What other assets? The attorney smiled slightly. That's something your grandmother wants to explain herself. The next morning, Grandma asked me to meet her. She was sitting on the hotel's private patio when I arrived. She handed me another envelope. Inside was a letter. She had placed several investment accounts, 2 commercial properties, and the family vacation home into a separate trust. Ryan wasn't included. Mom wasn't included. Mark wasn't included. I was. Grandma had also named me trustee after her death. She had done it because, as she put it, I wanted the person who respected ownership to be responsible for protecting it. I didn't tell Mom immediately. Instead, I went back to the hotel. I hired an independent management company, replaced the family accountant, and set up professional oversight. 3 weeks later, Mom called. You've made your decision then? Yes, she sighed. You're destroying this family. I looked through the glass doors at the hotel lobby. No, I just stopped letting the family run my life. She didn't answer. A few months later, Ryan asked me for a job. I told him all positions were handled through the normal hiring process. He never replied. Mom stopped calling. Mark eventually sent me one email asking if we could put everything behind us. I didn't respond. The hotel kept running. Revenue increased. The staff stayed. Nothing collapsed without my family managing it. One afternoon, I was standing in the lobby watching guests check in when my phone buzzed. It was Grandma. She had one question. How does it feel? I looked around at the hotel she had trusted me with. Peaceful, I said. She laughed. Good. Keep it that way. I put the phone away and went back to work. For the first time in my life, nobody in my family was standing behind me with their hand out.